All right. Holy cow. Surprise. Surprise. Right, exactly. Hey, guys. How are you? What's your name?
I'm Anika.
Manika.
Yes,
with an
sir.
M. Good to see you. What's your name? Christopher. Fantastic. What do we got here? Somebody took this all apart. What are we going to do now?
We're going to explain the components of the computer.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Tell me. This is about time I figured out what was going on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is a computer tower.
Yes.
This houses all the components of the computer.
Right.
The main component of the computer is the motherboard.
Okay.
The motherboard would be considered as the city of the computer. Mm-hmm. Today we're considering the city of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Here we have the CPU, which is the central processing unit,
Okay.
which is the main component where everything takes place. Mm-hmm. Then we have the RAM, which is random access memory,
Okay.
all the memory of the computer. And without this, the computer would not be able to function.
Okay. All right. And these are all the separate parts
Yes.
of this.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what my hard drive looks like if I took it all apart.
No, this right here would
This
actually
is
be your hard drive.
That'd be my hard drive over here.
And for the motherboard, to be able to detect it and
Yeah.
to communicate with it,
Okay.
what it does is that it works with the central processing unit and the RAM. And on the board, there's something called the BIOS, which is basic input-output. And what it does, it talks to all the devices and says, hey, we need you to be able to communicate with a certain device. So what happens is that, well, this isn't connected, so obviously it can't talk to it. So we need some form of connection for it to be able to speak. So it sends out a signal, talks to your hard drive, and says, hey, we need such and such to come over here. And then it brings it back, talks to around the CPU, and then the CPU just processes all that information and sends it out.
But it does it very fast.
Yep, does it really quick.
Now, just to get a sense of the two of you and how you got so knowledgeable about computers. Had you in high school done any work on computers? Or?
In high school, no, but my dad has been influential in that. When I was a little kid, I just always stared at his computer work, what he was doing, and I would ask him questions about it all the time.
Okay.
And then he would tell me to go off and do something else, but I was really interested in what was on the screen, and then that's how I started, and that's how I found myself.
How about you?
Not in high school or anything, but I was more so into the graphics. So just watching my mom at work.
Does she work in?
Well, not in computers.
Okay.
But she does a lot of work with the computers.
She works with
Yes,
computers.
sir.
Okay.
So just more so being here has opened our eyes to a lot of the different technology.
Now, what made you decide to be a part of this program?
Europe, it's basically an opportunity for me to continue the success that I already have because I consider everything that I have success.
There you go.
So this is another bridge for me to move towards the foundation that my parents have set.
Okay. Now, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
22 years old.
Yes, sir.
Okay. After college, did you work for a while? Did you go to school or?
Yes, I went to Bowie State for a year. I figured that the whole university thing wasn't for me at that moment,
Right.
and so I did work for a while. Then I went to medical assistant at school. Then after that, was like, okay, I really want to deal with computers, so I found Europe, came. So I liked what I saw, and I'm here now.
Excellent. And how about you? How old are you?
I'm 22 years old. 22.
Yep. Okay. Did you go to school or did you work before you got involved in this program?
I worked before. After I got out of high school, I just started working because I went and served a service mission in California for 2 years, so I didn't do school during that time.
Right.
And I came back in November and I said I wanted to pick something up. I didn't know where to go. I was going to go to PG Community, and then my dad would say, hey, I found out about this program. You want to go learn more about it? And now I'm here.
So now by the time you're finished with the whole year, will you guys have obtained some specific technical skills around computers that allow you to then find a job in computers?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah?
During our year here, while we're in our apprenticeship phase, we'll come back to Europe each week, and then we'll take part of A+ certification testing. And so we can study for that and get certified for that.
Excellent. Okay. Well, next time my computer's not working, I'm going to call you all up. Usually I just go, but that doesn't seem to work.
Well, you can call us and we'll come take part.
Now I know. All right. Well, very nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Don't you do that? Just kind of
Kick it
around, keep it. Well, it is good to see you. It is impressive. First of all, I want to thank Gerald for founding this club. And I want to thank Tanisha for running this thing in an extraordinary way. It seems like she's doing a great job. Give her a big round of applause. I am just very excited to be here. I just met 4 of your fellow Year Up participants, and they represented you very well. And they told me a little bit about the program. I know that so many of you are doing extraordinary things now, but you've had your bumps in the road, and there have been some tough times. And part of the reason we wanted to come here is that Father's Day is coming up. And, you know, a lot of young people in America these days are growing up without fathers in the house, and as a consequence, without direction. And I'm somebody who didn't have a father in my house when I was coming up. And, you know, what we wanted to do was to highlight the fact that, first of all, there are all kinds of people who succeed despite the obstacles, but also to remind ourselves that there's so much talent out there that is untapped because people don't have pathways to success, and they don't have somebody who's giving them a hand and giving them advice and giving them counsel. And so, number one, we want to send out a message that our parents, that's the first foundation, and fathers especially need to be involved with their children's lives. So the young men who are here today, I just want you to know that even if your father was not there, you can be there for your child when you have a child, and it's not a bad thing to wait to have a child until you got your act together. But the second message was also to say that you know, we as a community can help provide young people with support and direction, and I think that this Year Up program is a terrific example of that. So I just want to thank all of you for being great models, great role models for your peers and for younger people who are coming up, your brothers and sisters, people in the community. They're all watching you. I want to remind you that things are going to get tough at times in your lives, and I don't want anybody here to feel discouraged. Right now, the economy is going through a very tough time, which means that the job market is more restricted, especially for young people entering the job market. But what the skills that you've obtained and the poise and character that you've been developing is something that will last you a lifetime, and you will be successful as long as you stick with it. So we're just very proud of you. That's it from me. Now what I want to do is to just open it up and have